Hey,
You.
just make sure everything's set up the right way. Yep. Okay. Cool. Sometimes I wish I
in the room already, so just want to welcome everybody. You're joining us for the Art of Six Figures Live. This is our second episode, and I'm excited to have Scott Wyden. How do you say your last name?
Kivowitz
With us today from Imagely. He's got an awesome presentation lined up, so I'm excited. He's going to talk about creating a lead generation machine for your business. So I know we all need that, so I'm excited about that. As you're joining the room, just tell us where you're from and say hi.
Oddly, we're both from Jersey.
Yeah, right.
No funny. Brooklyn, nice.
We're just going to wait a couple minutes until 2 o'clock. That's when we're actually going to get started. So feel free to introduce yourself in the chat there. And I'm going to just launch a poll. If you guys can fill out that poll, that'd be awesome. Another person from North Jersey.
Nice. Where in Jersey?
That's awesome. If you're just joining us, guys, we are going to get started in a couple minutes, right at 2 o'clock, and we should end right at 3 o'clock. We definitely want to honor your time. We appreciate you guys joining. Scott's got a great presentation lined up for you guys, all about how to create a lead generation beast for your business. So it's going to be awesome. I want you guys to start thinking about questions right now that you may have for him as well. And at the end, we're going to have some live Q&A time, so you'll be able to ask those questions and get those answers, which is awesome. Also, I want to make sure that you guys check out theartofsixfigures.com. We got some giveaways going on there, and we're getting so much closer to being able to launch theartofsixfigures.com, which will be the full membership site. So I'm super excited for you guys. From a cubicle, Wes, that's amazing. Vietnam, India, that's awesome. Canada, Oregon, we got people from all over the place. We're going to get started in about 1 minute, right at 2 o'clock. Make sure you guys hang out all the way through because at the end, Scott's got an awesome free offer for you guys with Imagely, so you don't want to miss out. He's back. Don't worry, Allie. You got people from all over. That's so cool.
Yeah. India, Vietnam? Wow. Sweet.
All right, guys, we got about 30 seconds before we start. I just want to, if you're just joining us, my name is Easton, and I'm the founder of theartofsixfigures.com, and you are joining us for the Art of Six Figures Live. This is our second episode, and I'm super excited to have Scott Wyden. Say it again for me.
Kivowitz.
No, it just doesn't look like that, you know? But I'm super excited to have him with us today, and he is going to be talking about how we can create a lead generation machine for our businesses. And I know a lot of you have talked about how much you struggle with, you know, if you actually have meetings that meeting and get that person as a client, but getting those leads in the door, where do they come from? And what are you guys doing? So are you using advertisements like the Knot or Wedding Wire? Are you doing pay-per-clicks? Are you trying to do some organic stuff with blogging and things of that sort? So that's going to briefly touch on a lot of those different things and kind of give you more of like an outline as to what you need to be doing so that you can have leads coming in constantly. So I'm excited, and I'm going to turn it over to him, and make sure you guys hang out because after the presentation's over, we got a free offer for you guys, and we also we're going to do some live Q&A. All right, get started. Here we go.
Let's talk about creating a lead generation machine. And what I mean by that is a way for your website to generate infinite amount of leads, basically converting your site visitor to leads. Now, I'm not just going to talk about how to generate leads. I'm going to talk about how to generate quality and qualified leads. Now, what that means is it's not just somebody just reaching out for the heck of it. It's somebody who's reaching out because they definitely are interested in your services, and there's the chances of them converting from a lead to a customer is even more great, or even greater. So, before we dive into that, let's talk about blogging, because that's a very important part of this process. A blog is like a journal. It's your not-so-secret marketing weapon. And in today's session, I'm going to teach you how to use your blog and other parts of your website as a lead generation machine. So before we dive in, we still need you to understand some important things. So 70% of traffic to your website comes from blog content, right? 70% of traffic will visit your blog before they visit anywhere else. 15% of homepage visitors will first visit your blog even before looking at your portfolio. Why? Because your blog is showing your recent work. It's showing what you're doing lately. It's showing advice. People know this. So people go to blogs first. And search engines prefer blogs, so they promote blogs in search results before they will promote static pages. Now, here's why. Blogging generates discussion. Discussion generates movement. Movement catches attention, like comments and sharing. And attention improves search engine ranking. So the combination of sharing new content, having it discussed in comments in social media, having it well optimized, having it dynamic so it's ever evolving, will catch the attention of search engines and help it rank better. So what the heck do I blog about? Well, as a wedding photographer, you have such a wide range of things that you could talk about, like recent weddings, or the fashion advice that you have for your brides and grooms and your groomsmen and your bridesmaids and the mother and father of the bride. You have color recommendations for flowers, for table decorations, any of that kind of thing. Shoes, matching shoes to different things, bouquets, anything like that. You can also recommend your favorite cake flavor combinations, not only from you, but also from your brides. There's so many things you could talk about. And one of the best things you can talk about are the companies that you work with. And we'll get into that related to the lead generation machine. So, the goal: capture interest from site visitors and get them to give you their email address and maybe a phone number so you can remarket to them and hopefully book them. So step one is the blog content. The blog content. Create a blog post talking about each of these things. Include photos that relate to each business type. Food from weddings, flowers from weddings, the venues, and so on. If you have partners for each of these topics, include them, as that way they're most likely to include you back. So you're going to have blog posts about venues, caterers, party planners, bridal stores, jewelry stores, florists, DJs, bands, tuxedo rentals, videographers, and so many more. Those are just 9 or 10 of the different ways, different genres of partners that you can blog about. So SEO is important. When it comes to blogging, SEO is very important, and especially with the lead generation machine concept. So be sure that your H1 is optimized, you're including H2 tags, images are optimized well, and the word count is at least 300 words. All right. If you want to learn a little bit more about SEO, check out imagely.com/SEO, and we've got a nice whole big thing in there on image SEO specifically, but image SEO is a lot more than just image SEO is a lot more than just about images. It's about a whole wide range of things. So, but yeah, you need to really focus on making sure this content is well optimized. I'm not talking about link building for those just yet, but that is part of SEO. I'm talking about just making sure that content itself is optimized for the specific keyword that you are writing about. So for example, if you're writing an article about the best New Jersey wedding venues, or if you're trying to be specific to a county, let's say if you're talking about the best Hudson County, New Jersey wedding venues, then you want to make sure that entire blog post ranks, is optimized well for the keyword of Hudson County wedding venues. Now, step 2, you get done with the PDF. You get done with the blog post. It's now time to create a PDF. Here's the cool part. You are using the same exact blog posts for the PDF. You're not rewriting anything. You are using the same exact content, the same exact recommendations that you did in the blog posts, but in a PDF. Now, I prefer using software like Keynote or iBooks Creator to create documents like this. In fact, this presentation is actually made in Keynote, and I do use it for a lot of things that are not presentations, because Keynote can export as JPEGs, it can export as PDFs, and so on. iBooks Creator is fantastic because it is meant to make ebooks, PDFs, and also EPUBs, but it's perfect for something like that as well. If you have a preferred software like one of the Adobe softwares, like Design, whatever it's called, then please use that. Use whatever works best for you. Even if Canva.com is a tool that's ideal for you, use whatever works for you. Okay, but you need to make sure that you have a PDF. And here's what to include in that PDF. You want to make sure that you're including the businesses that you're recommending. Okay, that's number 1. You want to make sure you're including your own photographs, not somebody else's, your photographs. And these are your best photographs. These are photographs that you would put in your physical printed portfolio, as well as your online portfolio. And of course, you want to have a page of ways that people can get in touch with you. Email addresses, phone numbers, social media, any ways that people can get in touch with you. And of course, if you have a physical studio address, include that as well, so somebody can always stop by. So if you don't want to design it yourself, which I don't blame you, I'm a photographer, I'm also a marketer, and I'm an educator, but I'm not great at design. In fact, as you can see, this Keynote design is quite simple. It's black and white. I'm not great at design. I just do what I can, and when I need to, I outsource. Just like you would outsource if you're a very busy wedding photographer, you'll outsource either your post-processing to someplace like Shoot.edit, or you might outsource your blogging to Photoscribe, or you might outsource your web maintenance to Imagely, for example, or any of those things. You might have an assistant to do things, right? So outsource your design. Hire a designer to do this for you. It's okay to outsource if you suck at design. Get over it and hire someone to do this for you. Step 3, the landing page. Okay, now this is where sort of it all comes together in start building this whole lead gen process. So your landing page, you need to make sure it looks beautiful. Beautiful on mobile first, and then desktop. And I say that because most of the brides that will come looking at your stuff are coming on mobile. Most of your website traffic these days, probably 55% or more, are coming on mobile. A landing page is like a regular page on your website, except its dedicated purpose is lead generation. Typically, the menu from these pages are hidden or were just removed so people don't click away from the page. So, for example, if you have portfolio, blog, comment, contact, and things like that, those wouldn't show on a landing page. The only purpose of the landing page is for someone to see what you're offering them, and for them to click the button to give you an email address or phone number, or both. And the layout for a landing page is meant for reading, entering contact information, and submitting a very short form. And that's it. It's not meant for a big portfolio. It's not meant for a lot of different things. It's not meant for blog posts. It's meant for quick reading, a great display of what is being offered to them, and then somebody completing a form. So this florist has a well-optimized landing page. It has a bit of everything. Beautiful images, clear call to action, social proof. The page is actually much longer than this. In fact, it's probably 3 or 4 times the length of text and images than this. But the above the fold, or anything before you start scrolling, that alone is worth sharing, because as you can see, there's clear call to action, it's beautiful, and it gets you to do what they want. They're also showing you the social proof. When I say social proof, I mean the featured in section is showing you areas that are featuring you. So if you're looking for flowers and you see, hey, this company's been featured in New York Times, New York Post, Smart Money, and all these different magazines and newspapers, you're most likely to hire them because of that social proof. Right? So you want to make sure that your landing page has something like that. Okay? Here's one of mine. Now, this is a landing page for a newer free series that I have on my website about lenses. And it starts with a clear description of what is included. Then a video teaser that you can see there, and a subscribe box and social proof with social sharing counts. Now, this is something that I'm always testing. I'm always testing with heat maps and split testing of words and things like that, and trying to determine what works best, right? Now, social share is doing well. When somebody sees 58 social shares, they're more likely to fill it in because they're seeing other people are doing it. There's other ways to do social proof, like you saw in the previous slide with showing where you've been featured. If you are sponsored by anybody, include that. If you're part of any associations, include that. If you've been featured in Best of Wedding Photography, or if you've been featured in any of these wedding sites, then you want to make sure you're including those logos on your landing pages. If you can make a video to go on your landing page as a sort of a demonstration, that is even better. If you're just talking to the camera, talking about the product, this free PDF that you're giving them, that's fantastic. If you don't feel comfortable in front of a video camera, that's okay. Just use stills, but make it beautiful. So here's an example of what a landing page could look like with your new PDF. So, and this is actually a very well optimized, SEO optimized landing page for New Jersey Wedding Guide. So if I was doing Hudson, New Jersey Wedding Guide, it would be the essential Hudson, New Jersey Wedding Guide, or Hudson County, New Jersey Wedding Guide. You can see there's an opt-in box at the top right. Let's just actually zoom in a little bit on that. It starts with a clear headline, of course, which happens to be the H1 for SEO. So the H1 is what's important. It must have your keyword in it. It's also the title of the page. And then there's text which promotes the document, right? All this text is promoting what's included with the document. Important keywords can be bolded. Bullet lists are fantastic for clearly sharing the business types that you're mentioning in this PDF. Bullets are best for landing pages because not everybody can read paragraphs clearly or quickly. And people want quick. People like to skim, right? And me, I'm actually dyslexic. So when I see paragraphs, I usually don't read the content because it's just too much, especially if it's long paragraphs. If I see bullets, I'm more likely to actually read it because I can do it. I know my brain can handle it better. Now, there's also beautiful photographs of your that you should be shared somewhere on the page, as well as a short form for people to sign up. You can see I have a photo at the top right, a short form, so people can give me a name and email address and get the guide instantly. And then at the bottom, there's even more. There's more images, and then there's another opt-in box at the bottom where people can do it. And so aside from that, I said social proof is important. So however you're doing, whether it's company logos, press logos, social sharing counts, logos of associations you're a member of, or whatever, you need to make sure you have that. A small gallery like you see here is a good idea. And of course, H2 tags. So those two, the New Jersey Wedding and then the free New Jersey Wedding Guide, both of those are H2 tags. They all have important related keywords to my main H1 keyword. So that's very important to have in there for SEO. It also makes a good divider to separate different sections. So I would recommend including multiple methods of getting the opt-in. So as you saw in the previous slide, I have at the top right and there's one at the bottom. So if you have a really long landing page, add it more than just twice. Otherwise, just add it at the top and add it at the bottom. Next is keeping your opt-in form as minimal as possible. First, names and email addresses are extremely important. You want to be able to customize the future automated emails that you're going to wind up sending. I did say automated, right? So if you don't get a first name, you can't personalize those emails. So you want to make sure you're getting that. And if you do a lot of phone follow-ups, which some wedding photographers do, some don't, then it's most likely worth asking for a phone number. Don't make it required. Make it optional. And I would say, though, make the first name and email address required. And you don't have to show that's required with a little asterisk or anything, or the word required. Just put it there, but make it required. So somebody tries to fill it out and they don't put a first name, they just won't get it. They have to, because like I said, you want this to be qualified and quality leads. And if they're too afraid or too concerned or too lazy to add a first name, they're not a quality lead or qualified lead. Step 4, the opt-in. All right, now this is where it gets fun. You want to make sure that the opt-in looks beautiful on mobile first and then desktop. And the mobile version only shows on mobile and the desktop only on desktop. Because Google now penalizes sites who have pop-up opt-ins which take over a mobile screen. So it's important to optimize your opt-ins correctly for both desktop and mobile. So let's look at some of those. Here is an example of one of my opt-ins shown only on desktop. And it appears in the center of the page. This appears, I have it A/B testing for different times and different other triggers. But this one specifically is showing as you're browsing my blog posts. Okay? And it's an opt-in for one of my free video series. And that's it. Now here's the mobile version. Same thing happens. Same sort of triggers, but it's a mobile optimized design. And you can see it's at the bottom. The upcoming events word that you see there is actually a footer widget, and it's not actually part of the opt-in. So the opt-in starts right where where the blue lines are on the left and right. But this is an example of one that's mobile only. And you can see it doesn't take up most of the screen, and there's 2 big buttons that say either yes or no. So with the right opt-in system, the methods of triggering the opt-in is very wide. You could do exit intent, which means if somebody's browsing your page or your post and they go to move their mouse off the screen, the pop-up then triggers. That's a way to really get somebody to come back with a compelling opt-in. Or you can do it by time on page. If somebody's been on the page for 10 seconds, that's pretty good. 10 seconds is a good time on one page. Or the amount of pages viewed. So if somebody is viewing like 5 pages, that's pretty good because the average page view might be less on your site. Or the percentage of the page scrolled. So if somebody is browsing a blog post and they're not interested, they might only scroll 1 or 2%. But if they browse 50% of the blog post, they're most likely more interested in the content. So that might be a good trigger. So my suggestion is to find an opt-in system that allows you to A/B test all these different methods and see what is working best for you so you can focus on those. And here are some solutions for you. Here are some popular ones. I personally use Opt-in Monster. They are the most robust, in my opinion, works with pretty much every email system, email marketing system, and the designs are beautiful, fully customizable, and so on. Then there's Thrive Leads. Oh, and Opt-in Monster, although it is a WordPress plugin and a non-WordPress plugin, you can use it on any website, anywhere, no matter what, no matter where you are. As long as the content management system that you're using allows for a script to be embedded in the header or footer, then sort of like a Google Analytics, then you will be able to use Opt-in Monster. But there is a WordPress plugin side of it as well. Thrive Leads is 100% WordPress plugin. SumoMe is sort of like an Opt-in Monster. It works from the SumoMe service, their platform, and then you sort of install their plugin. And then Bloom is a 100% WordPress plugin. It's actually made by the same people who make the Divi theme. And then Lead Pages is the service that also has a WordPress plugin too. So all these different opt-in systems, there's so many more. There's hundreds of these that are out there. These are just some of the popular ones that come to mind whenever I think about opt-in systems. Step 5, the call to action. So you want to place a call to action at the bottom of every blog post and linking to the landing page or triggering an opt-in pop-up whenever the button is pushed. The call to action could be made using the same system used for the pop-up. For example, I do this with Opt-in Monster. Or it could be beautifully designed graphically. That's it, just a JPEG graphic that just, when somebody clicks on the JPEG, it goes to your landing page. Or it could be a simple text-based HTML button and graphic type thing, whatever you want to do. But either way, you want it to grab attention to drive people to the landing page. So here's an example. This is one from Colorville Actions. And when you go to some of their blog content, you'll see an opt-in like this, which is, by the way, being A/B tested and rotated. This one's for their planner freebie. And it pops into here, and you click on this, and it goes to the landing page for the freebie. Simple. But while you're browsing through the content, you're seeing this, and it's going to grab your attention because it's a different graphic than the rest of the blog content, and it's got a nice big button there to catch your attention as well. Step 6, the email. So, when somebody downloads your free PDF, they should be put into your email marketing system. That way you can remarket to these people, to these leads. I prefer MailChimp, but there are other great services like ConvertKit and Drip, Aweber. There's so many out there. I find MailChimp to be the easiest, the most robust, and the most integrated with everything. So that's what I would recommend. They also have great iOS apps and Android apps for so many things. So you're actually going to send the PDF through that system, through your email marketing system. You're not going to just let them download it through your website. You want them to verify their subscription to your email list before you send them the PDF, right? That way you have their email address confirmed. They're in your remarketing automations that you have, and that's it. So you're going to have them confirmed. They're going to get it. They're going to be delivered the PDF through email. And then you're going to remarket. You're going to set up campaigns to automate touches, reaches out over a period of time. And if you so desire, you're going to base those on specific actions. So here's an example. These emails might be a good time to ask if they've picked a venue. If so, send them additional photo samples from that venue, right? Ideally, put in a blog post. Now you have new blog content. Not only are you sending somebody new photos from a venue that they're interested in, but you're creating new content for your website. It's a win-win, right? So here's one example, right? Because subscription is confirmed, they immediately send the email with the free PDF. And I'm going to use MailChimp as an example. MailChimp sends the PDF in the email. One day later, if the download was clicked, send a follow-up email to see if there are any questions about it. If one day later, if the download is not clicked, send a follow-up email sharing the download link again. So if they didn't see it, it's back in their inbox again. 2 days after that, so this is technically day 3, follow up with an email with additional blog posts you shared over the years, which have been popular. Right? So if you're talking about Hudson County, New Jersey, you want to make sure these blog posts are all about Hudson County, New Jersey. And then 2 days after that, so now this is day 5, technically, offer free consultation phone call or in person for 30 minutes. Offer a short consultation. Don't even pitch them your services. Just talk to them. Be a nice human being that wants to just give them advice. Because if you do that, they are more likely to hire you. Or if they don't hire you because you might happen to be out of their budget, they might just recommend you to other people for being fantastically nice wedding photographer. And then one day later, send your photography business brochure, hopefully you have one, as a PDF. So really that's day 6. All in 1 week, you've sent all this content without doing a thing manually. Maybe you had the consultation. But if they did, then that's a really nice thing. Because now you've potentially increased the chances of converting that lead into a customer. Now, this remarketing example may not work for you. It may not work for your business. You will need to tweak this. Please don't use this exact example. Make sure you're doing it what works best for you, your brand, your business. So, the lead generation machine. Blog post displaying your recommended businesses. 1 post per business genre. A PDF document that includes a listing of the same businesses you recommend, your photography, and your contact information. A landing page dedicated to gathering leads with the free PDF. An opt-in that appears at strategic times throughout your site. A call to action at the bottom of every single blog post. And an email marketing list for PDF delivery and remarketing. Now, that's the lead generation machine in a nutshell. All of it ties together. And it all starts with creating a bunch of blog posts that then give you the content for the rest of this machine. But there's more, because you can do one-offs. You can do one blog post, one topic, one PDF that grabs attention, engages the readers, and gets leads. You can do one-off PDFs. So if you want to do a blog post on what to wear at your engagement session, what to wear at your maternity session, all these different ideas, you can do these as one-off lead generation PDFs. It would be built the same way as the big wedding guide you're creating. However, they're individual blog posts with an individual opt-in form for an individual PDF. The PDF should not be a print of the blog post. It should be a beautifully designed, again, by a professional designer, just like the big PDF you're creating. And this gives you more opportunity to then remarket that big PDF to the people who download these one-offs, which then increases the qualified lead even more. So the one-offs can be a big part of your lead generation machine strategy. Now, this lead generation machine is always changing. It's an ever-evolving thing. And as your business evolves, so does the process. So does the companies you recommend. They might change. The textile you use might change. Your branding might change. The email automation might change. And you should always be testing to see what needs to be changed. But once you have it in place and start promoting the new free PDF, you'll see more leads and bookings. And if you want to know how, it's very simple. Word of mouth is a super powerful thing. It is so important, so powerful, so essential. But so is Google. The blog posts you've created are hopefully well optimized and linking to the landing page. This is a fantastic method of increasing search engine awareness of the content and in turn to help it rank better. But again, it doesn't stop there, because when people share the blog content and landing page on social media, that only helps more. And you could advertise it. You could advertise that landing page on Facebook. And want to know why you should? Because freebies do so well in Facebook ads. If you would have advertised a t-shirt versus advertising a freebie, you know what's going to do better? The freebie. Why? Because people don't have to buy something. They don't have to buy something. They don't have to click on that ad with the intention of giving you money. They're clicking on the ad knowing they're getting a free document that will help them plan their wedding. Advertise your landing page. Advertise your lead generation machine. So now is the time to create your lead generation machine and start making more money. Right? You can increase your business. You can get to 6 figures. And this is just one of the methods that will help you get there. It's not the only method. There are tons of things. And thanks to Easton's webinars and all these lessons he's putting out there and everything, you can learn ways to get to six figures. And this is just one of them. So I do work at Imagely, and I'm happy to offer 3 months of free hosting. We have turnkey photography websites, and you basically sign up, and within a few minutes, you have a fully hatched website that has dummy content in there for you to replace the photos, replace the text. It's sort of it's just a way for you to have a fast, elegant, beautiful website without having to do any custom code or hire anybody outside. It also comes with all of our themes. It comes with all of our plugins, including our popular NextGen Gallery, NextGen Pro, which gives you proofing and e-commerce, print sales, digital downloads, all that great stuff. So you can start merging, getting rid of services that you don't need. If you're using a third-party proofing tool, you don't need to if you have it all in one place. So things like that. And use the coupon code AO6, and you'll get 3 months of free hosting. This coupon expires on June 1st, so please be sure to use it beforehand in order to get that before the deal is gone. And here's where you can find me. ScottWyden.com, Imagely.com, Imagely.com/podcast. If you want to learn a lot more about photography websites, that is the podcast that I'm the host of, and it's called the WordPress Photography Podcast. It's everywhere on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all that stuff. And then if you are a WordPress user, Facebook.com/group/WordPress Photographers is our striving Facebook. I run this. It's not an Imagely group. It's something I run myself, but it just well over 1,100 as of right now. Members of the group, all using WordPress, all there to help and ask questions and so on. So with that, I'm happy to take on any questions.
Awesome, Scott. That was awesome. So much great information in there that I know so many of us don't even think about on the day-to-day as we're going through running our businesses. We're so busy editing and responding to emails that we get lost in the fact that maybe we're not positioning our businesses correctly to actually be found even, right? Right.
Yeah. And a lot of photographers just think, okay, if I put up the website, have my gallery, have some social presence, and maybe blog every once in a while, maybe the lead will come. And then if we less than 80% of attendees said less than 10 leads come in a month. And that's fairly common, especially when you're not doing the hard work to get a lot of quality leads. The quality leads is the important part here.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, if you have any questions for Scott, we've got quite a bit of time left. So go ahead and start putting those into the chat now, and then we'll go through them as we see them come in. I'm also going to go ahead and put up this offer for you guys for the free month, and that is active now, so you guys can go ahead and click on that to see what that's all about. This guy had all kinds of things going on, podcasts. He's got the Facebook group that he mentioned specifically around WordPress, and he's super knowledgeable about WordPress as well as blogging. There's so much goes into running the business on the day-to-day that is behind the scenes that no one even knows happens. And so a lot of the people that are making six figures within this industry as photographers are doing it because they're active in promoting their brand. They're active in really creating their brand and then putting it out there for people to be able to see. And it's recognizable, and there's something different about what it is that they're offering versus all the rest of the photographers out there. And so we touch on a lot of those things in some of the courses that we just have recently put out with our business reboot and our intro to Facebook ads. And we talk about how important it is to know who your ideal client is, right? And creating a client avatar. Without knowing that, you can't advertise in any way because you don't even know what your own message is. And you don't know what the message is that your ideal client is going to grab a hold of. And understanding the problems and solutions that they're going to be able to deal with, or hesitations that they're going to deal with, and being able to just squash them, even on your sales pages, can be huge for you. So,
And a good example of knowing your avatar is we've got a mutual friend, Mike Alabac, and he's not these days as he used to, but because he's now branching out different aspects of photography. But when he was 100% day to day focused on photographing tattooed brides, he's not going to go in and try to advertise his business to Rodeo Drive, shopping at where a t-shirt is $1,000 type store. He's going to go for the people that he knows that the tattooed couples. He's going to target to the venues where all these couples will usually get married in the area. He's going to be advertising and talking in a specific way. He curses a lot, and it doesn't matter because his clients curse a lot. So the way you portray yourself really depends on who your clients are. That is a great point.
Yeah, and I always say if you want to start a snowblower company, production company, or selling them, you don't want to do it in Florida. It's just common sense. But so often we think that we just want brides, or we just want people to take their picture of. But that is such a broad aspect of people. You're touching on so many different generations. You're working class people, all different factors to take into account. And works with you best as far as who is your ideal client, because even if the photographer next door to you is advertising for one particular type of client, that may still not be right for you, and the same approaches that they're taking may not be the exact right thing for you as well. So a lot of things to think about. Let's dig into some of these questions.
Sure.
Let's see, we got how do you feel about creating different pages for your photography?
Yeah, so this is a question I get a lot. So, for example, you have a wedding business, but then you also have a headshot business, right? Everyone's asking me, should I have separate domains, or should I have one domain, one website, or two websites? It really depends on you. It depends on your clients. But my recommendation, what I would recommend doing, this is what I do, is to have one website for SEO purposes, that everything is in one place. So anything that benefits your headshot side also benefits your wedding side, for example. But if you do that, if you have everything in one place, you need to make it very clear that you need to have a clear funnel, a clear flow of your website for people to get to the right places, because you don't want somebody who's coming for a wedding to land on your headshot side accidentally. You want them to know exactly where to go. So you need to find ways to make it clear, whether you're using beautiful imagery, using icons that make it obvious, big words, buttons, things like that. You need to just be very strategic about if you are going to keep them in the same place, which I do recommend, but it's more difficult. It's a good question.
Awesome. What else we got? For a blog post about venues, how many venues should you talk about?
Yeah, so I would say if you have 50 venues in your area that people get married in, narrow it down to 10. But here's where you want to be strategic about this, because not only do you want to narrow it down, but you want to partner with venues. No, because you want to recommend them so that they recommend you. So this is a old type situation. Creating documents and content for brides to hire you, but you're also creating content and documents so that venues could recommend you. So become a preferred partner with them. Get that venue to put you on their list so that when they get brides contacting them, they can send these brides to you to then download this document that you made or look at your content, which that cross promotion just enhances the whole lead generation machine even more. So yeah, keep it small. Keep it small.
Can you talk a little bit about the impact that keywording has on your reach?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. Keywording?
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about what the impact of keywording has within your blog to help you actually either rank or show up in search engines and things like that?
You want to definitely want to include keywords specific to what you're trying to target in the blog content or in the page content, but you want to make sure that the use of it is under 2%. You don't want it to go over 2% of the content, meaning if you have 500 words, less than 2%, somewhere between 1 and 2% of those words, of those 500 words, should include your keyword. You also want to make sure that you're including the keyword in the page title, which would be what's called an H1 tag or an H1 header. You want to also include the keyword in H2s or H2 headers if you can. These are all different places where search engines are going to look at this content actually about. In the presentation, I talked about the SEO document that we have available, and that will actually talk more about headers and how to use it and where to include your file name in the images and things like that. So there are many places where keywords are important, but it's very, very, very crucial to not overdo it. If you do, then it's considered keyword stuffing, and that's actually a penalty rather than helping your SEO.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. That's good info. Do you have any thoughts on posting blog posts directly to your site versus embedding a WordPress blog to your site SEO-wise?
So I'm not quite sure what the question is. If your site, if the platform you're using, if you're using a Squarespace, for example, you have a blog system in it, so use it. If you are using a SmugMug, you don't have a blog, so you need to have a blog separate. So it really depends. If you're sit in, take advantage of it, and if it doesn't, then you need to have a site that matches perfectly, or just get off that platform and go to a site that service that already offers you a blog, because it's really not. It's yes, you can have multiple platforms using your domain. For example, if you have a SmugMug site and a WordPress blog, your SmugMug site might be yourdomain.com, but the blog might be blog.yourdomain to yourdomain.com/blog. I know this is like a lot of words being thrown around, but there's something called subfolders and subdomains. Subdomains won't help your SEO if you have multiple sites. Subfolders, like a /blog, would help your SEO. So again, yeah, just if your platform has a blog, use it. If it doesn't, get one that does. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I would say like if you're using the Zenfolios and things like that, you're not even able to add HTML code to them for like your tracking codes for like your Facebook pixel and things of that sort. And if your website says something along the lines of like zenfolio.com/Blu-ray photography, then they're getting all of your SEO-ness and you're not really benefiting from it at all. Exactly. So I would definitely make sure that your website in and of itself is a, bluerayphotography.com or whatever it is that your business is. Make sure that you own that domain so that you can maximize your traffic as well.
Yep.
If we don't have any photos of certain venues, how can we go about blogging about them? I was mostly a second shooter and I don't have rights to all those images.
This is actually a very easy answer. Very easy answer. Go to the venue and ask for access. Simple. It's as simple as that. Go to the venue, say, hey, look, my name is Wes, and I am I'm building this document to recommend my favorite venues. I've only photographed here as a second shooter, so I don't have any photographs that I own the rights to. I'd love to be able to just spend time and just walk around the venue and photograph it. Because you don't need to photograph the venue with with a wedding in place. You just need to be able to show how beautiful the venue is. So maybe it's photos when they already have a wedding set up that just nobody's in it. It's just the setup of a wedding. You get in there 5 minutes before the wedding starts and boom, you've got beautiful photos of a beautiful venue. So just go in and ask. Make friends with these venue owners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like a lot of times if you are proactive and you go into a venue and you realize that they already have artwork on the wall or something like that, just send them better artwork. Like, just wow them even more, and don't ask, hey, do you mind if I give you some artwork to hang up? Like, no, just like print an album, print artwork, and then drop it off in person and be like, hey guys, I just gave you all this gorgeous artwork for free that you can hang up. And now guess what it is? The other person's artwork that's standing on the wall next to yours looks terrible, and they're going to start recommending you over them, or it's going to work perfectly because they're not going to want that person at all.
And give them the any of not the hammer, but give them the hanging hardware too, so they don't have to think about, do I need to get a hook, or do I need, what do I need to get? Give them everything that you would need except the actual hammer to hang that on the wall, because they're going to have a hammer.
Yeah, or just be like, I'll hang it for you.
Yeah, even better. Yeah.
Those types of things. So people. My dad just told me a story the other day. It was kind of funny and it kind of applies, so I'm going to say it. He's like, when I was younger, I went into a restaurant to get a job as a busboy or dishwasher. And the guy was like, yeah, I already got like 56 applications, like, whatever. And my dad was like, well, do any of them have experience? And the guy was like, I don't know yet. I haven't been able to go through them. And he's like, well, on a Saturday night, if you find yourself backed up because your dishwasher crew can't actually keep up with the flow of your restaurant, just give me a call. And then my dad got hired, right away, because he was proactive, because he doesn't let it end there. And I think that's something that we can learn from, like in almost every aspect of our business. If you're persistent and you're confident and you go in there, you're going to knock it out of the park. And a lot of times fake confidence can turn into confidence, as long as you wear it well,
Yep, that's for sure.
All right. I know domain names are important, but should you purchase others as well to have them direct to your site?
Good question. So my standpoint on this is own every domain that you can protect your business from competitors buying it and doing negative things with your business. So if I know I own scottwyden.blog, scottwyden.co, scottwyden.net, everything that is Scott Wyden, that's affordable, because some of these domains get quite expensive. I own all the important ones that people would use: scottwyden.photography, scottwyden.photos, all of those. Own every one that is your brand. I even have Scott Kivowitz for a bunch of different domain handles. So anything that can protect your business, do that, and have the domain just forwarded to your main website. That way there's no duplicate anything on the internet, because you just want everything to be forwarded to you.
Yes, and on those pages, I think it's important to, like, if you buy them, then you can maybe make the focus of them portraits or something like that, but don't like have the same exact content that's on your main website's homepage also on that as an exact layout, that'll just end up hurting you.
Yep.
And you can keyword each of those additional pages too, and make sure that, you can start ranking for other stuff. Maybe it's like South Jersey wedding photographer, or like smaller niche type of things, And so like ours is like South Jersey or New Jersey wedding photographer, but then you can have other web pages that have like South Jersey wedding photographer or Burlington County wedding photographer. And that's when you start to like narrow down and get the people that are searching for niche stuff.
Yep, exactly.
All right. As a destination wedding photographer based in India, who is still primarily shooting in India, how can I use SEO, social media, etc. to target potential bridegrooms outside my country? I have some wedding photos I have shot in North America, Europe that I can use as visual content.
Yeah, you want to create content, either pages or blog post content, or you can even do a whole lead generation machine for these specifically, each area, saying destination wedding photographer for Europe, like whatever the keyword is. You'd have to do some keyword research using Google's keyword planner, figure out what people are searching for something with destination wedding photographer and Europe or North America and things like that. And once you know the keyword, create the content around that keyword and market yourself to each individual area as a destination wedding photographer. I know that I got married. I'm from New Jersey, just like Easton, and I got married in Mexico. So when I was planning my wedding, I was searching for wedding photographers in Mexico, not destination wedding photographers, just wedding photographers. But it's sort of the same thing because you may not need to market yourself as a destination wedding photographer in your content, at least in the way you're advertising. You just want to get people to look at you and know that, hey, I can go to Mexico, I can go to Europe, I can go to New Jersey, wherever. So you just have to do your research and figure out what people are actually searching for the areas that you want to photograph.
Yeah,
and that's it. Then that gives you that head start.
Yeah, that's good. And I think that you can, like Scott said, you don't have to like rewrap your entire brand or anything like that. You can just simply make a blog post. And if you shot in Dominican Republic, then you would, use the keywords appropriate for that people are searching, and make that entire blog post about that. Make sure you use the keyword multiple times within the post in the actual text that you're writing. Not like the more that you put links in there and whatnot that are out, and the keywords that are outside, like you can't just like write, say it's like Dominican Republic wedding. You can't just like throw that all over the site as many times as you want, because Google will see right through it and actually ding you for it. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to do a bunch of different areas in like North America, for example, you could do what's called a hub page. So you can write a bunch of blog content that's around this wedding I did in Colorado, this wedding I did in New York, this one I did in New Jersey, this one I did in Maine. All these different blog posts about these weddings in different, and create what's called a hub page, destination wedding photographer for North America, whatever the keyword is that you've researched. And then you're talking about and linking to all these blog posts from these different areas. In fact, you could do a map and have the map even link to all these different areas. So there's a lot of things you can do to sort of enhance your organic results presence in different areas, even though you're just in India.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for that, the Google Keyword Planner is a good tool to figure out what relevant keywords would be. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Google Keyword Planner and the Google Search Console you can use to actually see what people are Googling. So you can sit down and write a whole list. And you guys should have used these tools before you even launched your website, honestly. But you can still go back and do it now. But make a list. Yep. So what are you? You're a wedding photographer. Cool. So start there, wedding photographer. And then start to expand, add geographic location to it. So it's like Philadelphia wedding photographer, right? And just start making these lists. And then maybe you add an adjective. So it's modern Philadelphia wedding photographer. And there's different types of keywords. You can use short keywords. You can use long-term keywords. So some of the longer-term keywords, or the shorter-term keywords, are going to get a lot more traffic to them, but they may not be qualified leads, because like if you just say wedding photographer, for people in the door, but they may not be the right fit for you. So you use that to get them in the door, but then you need to have content for the other niche keywords that they would actually connect with. And that helps them to be able to kind of filter through. And you use the longer keywords, which are like more than words together. And you use those for niche terms. The two of those kind of work together. When you use the longer ones, you're going to get a little bit less traffic, but the traffic that's coming to it is most likely, typed in exactly what you used as your keyword. So they're going to find exactly what they were looking for. So they're going to be much higher to convert.
Yeah. And so it's just definitely worth noting that the Google Keyword Planner is made for advertising on Google. That's what the tool is designed for. It's going to tell you how much it might cost to advertise for that keyword. But you're going to be looking at this not from the advertising standpoint, but from is this keyword relevant and a quality keyword standpoint, because it's going to tell you exactly how many people search for that keyword that you're researching. And you can even, if you're a destination wedding photographer that you're out of the country, you could actually change the result that you get based on the location that you're targeting. So if you're in India and you're targeting North America, you can actually put North America as the result for the keyword planner. So it's a really fantastic tool made by Google. Doesn't get any better.
Yeah, and it's free, so make sure you take advantage of it. You can get all kinds of information that is super, super valuable. So, all right, I think we're just about to wrap up. So one more time, make sure you guys check out the offer for the 3 free months of hosting. There's so much more that's involved with Imagely than just hosting. They've got so many more tools to be able to help you with your website, all kinds of stuff. And they've got great communities of people together as well with their Facebook groups. So make sure you check that stuff out. Also, make sure that you visit theartofsixfigures.com, register, because we're going to be launching the actual website sometime in May to all of our beta users. So the first people that end up signing up are going to be the ones that are going to be allowed access in first. And we're going to use you guys, all your feedback and whatnot to keep tweaking the site and making it better before we fully launch in June. So we're super excited about that. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out the Imagely. And I just want to thank Scott again for joining us and giving us all this valuable information. Hopefully you guys now are going to like, oh my God, I got like 10 leads instead of 10, less than 10 leads for like the entire month, right? So take care, guys. We will see you next month for our 3rd episode. We've got a whole schedule of people, so make sure you check out on that website. You can go to the webinars tab and see who's coming up next. We got Andrew Fundy from Funderburg. We got Carrie Swales, I think, is next from Photography Awesome Sauce. So she's going to talk about how to create passive income as a wedding photographer. So she actually shoots very few weddings a year, and she only charges like $1,000, but she makes like $8,000 to $10,000 off each wedding because she's got so many partnerships established that every time she shoots a wedding, like there's all these other people paying her to do that. You don't want to miss that. That's coming up soon. All right. We will see you guys in a couple weeks. Have a good one.
Bye.